Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I have a special treat for you guys today. I've got this. We have here the NewBeeDrone Hummingbird V1 Vine and Fly. This is the Project Mockingbird edition. So it is specially tuned by Mr. Patrick Clark, who, if you don't know who that is, he's the developer of the Project Mockingbird firmware setups. And what makes this one even more specialer is it is running silverware, which is highly regarded as the best flying firmware for brushed micros, especially these little 65mm guys. Something to really take a look at is, where is the USB port? Well, guess what? There isn't a USB port. There's no Betaflight, there's no messing around with that. It does come with this B-Link where you can flash new firmware to it, but for the most part, that's pretty irrelevant. It's not even necessary. So, I know, that in this day and age, why on earth would you go with a brushed drone? Well, you know, it's hard to say why a brush drone would be better than a brushless, and as a matter of fact, I really can't think of a lot of reasons why a brush drone is better than a brushless drone, except for it's much less expensive. It's about half the price of a near competing brushed micro, and I'm talking 65mm. And it's super quiet. It's very user friendly, especially with the silverware board and no Betaflight shenanigans going on with it. This can bind up in D8 or D16 mode, as well as Futaba. Not that I've ever messed with Futaba, but I'm certainly familiar with FrSky D8 and D16 mode. It has a external receiver on it, so you can honestly basically put on whatever receiver you're needing. And in my case, I highly recommend that you stick with D8 if you have the option to do so. Very easy to bind up, but this is a little bit different than a lot of other quads, where since in Betaflight you can go through and you can customize where each channel maps to. Because it's silverware, your channel map has to be very specific. Your channel map has to reflect this. You need to basically make it AETR, so aileron, elevator, throttle, and rudder has to be your channel output. And if you don't exactly know what I mean by channel output, is for FrSky on your mixes page, basically from channel 1 down, there needs to be aileron, elevator, throttle, and rudder. AETR. And then you need 3 to 4 switches after that. So some of the specs on this little drone here is it comes with the BI camera and the V2 canopy. It's a super light, very durable canopy. It's a decent looking camera, not a lot of crazy fisheye. It has the cockroach frame, which doesn't include the little loop on the bottom that you see some of them have for mounting the Insta360 Go. Not that I think this thing could actually pick that up. It does come with the plaid motors and a set of tri-blade props and a receiver. It doesn't come with any batteries, but this little guy, you're probably going to want to run the 300 milliamp or maybe even the smaller batteries, but it is a PH 2.0 connector, so very common batteries. We're not dealing with any of the specialty connectors like the BT 2.0 or even the new GNB style 1S connector. But the real question is how does it fly? And I'll throw some flight footage up right now.
Here's a quick demo of the OSD. You got your VTX settings there. Your OSD, you can move your voltage, RSSI, and craft name around. Flight control, this is where you set up your modes, and you can see we can scroll through our aux channels, high, medium, low, so that would be like a 3-position switch, and we can leave them either on or off. So I'm just going to leave this one off since altitude doesn't do anything. Level, I'm going to make aux 3 medium, so race is like acro mode, and then horizon is another auto leveling mode, and then you can change your name if you want. Go to exit. RX, this will show you your stick positions if you're trying to work on centering. As you move them around, you can see where center is, and then also what the output on your aux channels would be. And we could just save and exit. So one thing about the Project Mockingbird tune is it has a ton of yaw authority. Basically, they're trying to get it to fly like the original Inductrix tiny racers. Well, this is intended to be flown in an auto level mode. So see, it says L at the bottom. So I'm in basically what you would consider the Betaflight traditional angle mode. And if you got really good at this, you can basically fly full pitch stick forward. Sorry folks, my SD card got filled up on my goggles. It's never happened before. So anyways, the auto level mode makes it a pretty good flyer. It does handle bumps and crashes really well, unlike a Betaflight quad, which tends to want to either get sucked into the wall or launch across the room. This one just kind of bounces, and you can just keep on going. It's very easy to recover. The yaw authority is pretty crazy on this. It's almost like a light switch. One could be very, very fast on a track with this little guy. Outdoors, no, I don't really recommend it. I mean, yes, it'll fly outdoors, but this is fairly underpowered for its size, which then you end up suffering yaw washout quite badly, very easily. It's not a very violent yaw washout like a lot of underpowered brushless quads are, but it is very present. This is a very, very good flying low quad. It's quiet too. I could probably get away with a much lighter battery. These are the NewBeeDrone 300 milliamp nitro nectars. This little guy.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Timer 1 elapsed.
This little guy I could probably do with smaller, like maybe like a 250 milliamp battery. It's a little bit of weight savings. Because like I said, it is fairly low powered, but it's powerful enough for what its intended purpose was, which is basically just ripping your house or on a track. But it's, God, this thing flies really well. But there is one Achilles heel to the brush drone. No turtle mode.
This thing flies incredible. I attribute it to basically the low weight, the silverware firmware, and then the Project Mockingbird tune that is on this thing. And this will make it one of the best, like this will make it a ultimate indoor angle racer. It doesn't have the pop and the punch of a brushless micro, but it's half the price. This little guy coming in at $50. That's it. $50 to get yourself a bind and fly micro. If you know wintertime's coming and you're going to want to be able to fly, do some indoor racing, indoor anything, turn your house into a big jungle gym, $50. That's all. It doesn't include batteries, so you'll have to add some batteries onto that. But you know that's the price you got to pay for just about anything. $50. The nearest competitor is like the Mobula 6 or one of the other NewBeeDrone offers, and those things are $100 plus. So the question is, should you buy it? If you're a connoisseur of micros, like I think I am, well, probably not, but I like to think I am, you've got to have a brush drone in your arsenal. It's something totally different. It is a very enjoyable flight. It's quiet. It's Very, very unobtrusive. You could probably gorilla whip this thing very easily. Not that I'm advocating that you do that, but I think you probably could. I don't think anybody would know other than the fact that it's whizzing around, but it's very quiet. It's light, it's very non-destructive. You could literally crash this into somebody and most likely you wouldn't hurt anybody. Not that I'm saying you should, but most likely you wouldn't. The BTX on it is fine. It's 25 milliwatts, so it's nothing crazy. Receiver range is very well paired with the BTX range, so that's very well built there. The only downside I find to this is no turtle mode. There's no turtle mode, which is a huge advantage to brushless micros. Is if you crash on a track, you can hit that turtle mode, get yourself up and fly off. Now, if you're at a large event, typically they're very well officiated. And what I mean by that is there's a ton of people on the track who aren't flying that will grab your quad, flip it over, and stick it back on the track, and you can get going. If you're at a smaller event, or you're with buddies, or you're just one person flying around in their house, you don't have that option. And if you're at a smaller event, time is very important. So if you can crash turtle mode and get going without really losing too much time, that can be the difference between first and last. And trust me, I've been down this road. So turtle mode is a big feature, but imagine this: you've never had turtle mode. Would it make you a better pilot? That is a question. If you can learn to just kill it on a track with this thing and not crash, what happens when you go race day and you get that brushless drone that can do the turtle mode? Would you be unstoppable? Would you be better than you were with this? I don't know. That's a question for you to ask yourself. I personally think that this is a very good training tool and just a backup. It's just something to have fun with. Or if you got a buddy who want to dabble in this hobby, loan him this guy. He ain't gonna break it unless he runs it over or a dog gets it. Not gonna break it. So light, it'd be very difficult to damage it. Another downside to brush drones is the motors wear out, and it's insidious. What I mean by insidious is they slowly get worse and worse and worse until you get to the point where they just don't work at all. And that time you got to replace them. Very easy to replace. One connector, take the prop off, slide it out of the frame, push it in. You can change out a set of 4 in probably a minute or 2. And they're not that expensive, but compared to a brushless drone, you never have to replace those because the motors never wear out. They can get damaged from impacts and things like that, but they never quite really just wear out like brush motors do. So all in all, I think this is a great idea. This is a great drone, very low price. Check it out. The link for it is in the video description. There's other links to other products I use, but this is available exclusively at NewBeeDrone. NewBeeDrone is a US-based company. I'm sure they don't build these in the US, but they are the retailer. And I gotta say, this is a good product. It's not the best, but I think it's great for the price. All right, folks, this is a real quick look at the Hummingbird V1 Project Mockingbird Edition. Go ahead, take a look at it. Find the link in the video description. Hey, folks, if you're watching this, please like and subscribe in the video description down there. It's the only way I know that you like what I'm doing. And if you don't like what I'm doing, hey, let me know down there in the comments. I'm open to new ideas. If there's anything you want to see, put it down there. If you got questions, again, down there. I try to respond to all of them. And if you want to know anything Tweet FPV, check out the Linktree link down there. If you need help with your FR Sky products, if you need help with binding this guy up, anything like that, check out my Discord. It's the best way to get troubleshooting advice. And best of all, it's basically free. And by basically, I mean it is free, unless for some reason you want to pay me for my time, which most people don't. But I'll help you out anyways, because that's what I'm here for. I love this hobby. I want to see everybody succeed and not just rage quit. All right, folks. I will see you next time. Keep on whooping, brush or brushless, doesn't matter. Just keep on flying.